Is Debian replacing the GNU core utilities with Rust clones? Is it pulling an Ubuntu? It's kind of looking that way. According to recent changes, Debian is planning to drop GNU core utilities, the battle-tested GNU core utilities, in favor of uutils, the Rust-based clones. Quote, this is from the commit, Debian is also following in Ubuntu's path towards making uutils the default. You can read it right here. A Google Summer of Code 2024 project improved the support of the Rust core utils in Debian was mentored by Sylvester Ledrew to accelerate the integration. The package is also inherited by downstream Debian-based distributions, including Raspbian, Kali Linux, Parrot, PureOS, Deepin 23, etc., etc., etc. Now, the timing of this change is weird, is truly peculiar, considering the very recent, extremely critical showstopper grade bugs in those Rust clones of Coreutils, in uutils, which have been just plaguing Ubuntu. I mean, this has been a thorn in Ubuntu's side since they announced making this dramatic shift from Coreutils to uutils. And now they've even got it at a point where the Rust clones are preventing Ubuntu from making builds of Ubuntu. They're not able to actually make ISO images of Ubuntu using the core utils that they're supposed to be shipping with. So they've reverted back to the GNU core utilities for their own build systems because the Rust ones are so utterly preposterously broken. Now, this change was submitted by Sylvester Ledrew, who I just mentioned there previously. Now, Sylvester Ledrew is the founder of the uutils project, as well as a developer in Debian and Ubuntu, and an employee over at Mozilla. He's a director of engineering at Mozilla, makers of Firefox, among other things. So kind of worth bearing all that in mind. Now, Rust as a programming language came out of Mozilla. Mozilla created the programming language Rust, right? Mozilla, the group of activists. What did they name themselves as? They're no longer a bunch of software developers making web browsers anymore. They're a collection of political activists, and they do all sorts of weird, like, pro-communism events and all sorts of stuff. It's truly bizarre, but that's where Rust came from, and now it's being pushed by this director of engineering at Mozilla into the Debian project, which means it would then impact everything that comes downstream of Debian, and at least in theory, right? Unless they specifically make the choice to ignore what Debian is doing. So they're trying to get this Rust-based clone code into as many distributions as possible: Raspbian, Kali, PureOS, etc. And one has to wonder why. Because it's buggier than the thing it's replacing. It's not yet ready to replace the thing it was designed to replace. And there was no actual reason to do the replacement in the first place. Like, there's no list of, oh, well, we would love to have these features, but we can't because these are written in C or C++ or whatever, right? They don't, that doesn't exist. If only we could get these critical user features into people's hands, but the only way to do that is to rewrite it in Rust. Like, that's not a thing. There's not one feature that is only made possible by rewriting it in Rust, let alone a feature that someone actually asks for. So you have to wonder, what is the motivation here behind all of this? This is just, it's crazy. And here's another weird little bit. After a number of messages, which were critical of dropping the GNU core utilities in favor of the Rust clones, after a number of those messages were posted to the Debian developer email list, right? So Debian-Devil. The uutils lead, who we just talked about, that Mozilla director guy, he stated that the polite criticism, quote, feels like harassment, and quote, I am not interested in having this conversation. Let me pull this up here. Someone said, I disagree for several reasons to making these changes, and then they listed out a bullet list of of some of those changes. And it was really straightforward stuff like, oh, I don't feel like this really. A lot of people aren't going to want this, and maybe we should talk about this some more. It was very simple stuff. It was very congenial. There was no name calling or anything like that. But the director of engineering at Mozilla said, quote, "As highlighted before, it feels like harassment, and I am not interested to have this conversation with you. Please don't CC me in the future. However, I am happy to have a conversation with my fellow Debian developers, or the amazing, and I mean it, GNU Coreutils maintainers like Colin. Cheers, Sylvester." What it really appears like is they're just shooting down criticism, right? So people, Debian developers and Debian users are on the development mailing list saying, hey, we don't necessarily want this. Please don't do this, or at least don't do this without, going through the regular procedures of testing and whatnot. But they're pushing forward anyway. They're making the Rust Coreutils the default in the experimental branch. And there's a screenshot from the utils website where it shows that Sylvester is the project founder and overall lead. I do want to point out that this isn't the first time that the Rust clone project of uutils has been really aggressively pushing, maybe even a little bit out of turn, that more distributions are grabbing the Rust-based uutils. Quote, this is from uutils.org/users, where it lists all the distributions that are supposedly shipping with it. And it lists in big bold, Debian. Debian has packaged uutils, Coreutils since Debian 12 and is actively tracking upstream, blah, 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 blah. It then goes on to talk about how so much work has been done and there's further progress in Debian experimental. Virtual Coreutils package now dispatches between providers and installing Coreutils there, pulls in blah, 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 making uutils the default in experimental, right? So they're declaring that there. And it doesn't really seem like the Debian project is shooting this down. There's been one or two people who are like, I don't think this is a thing that should be happening. I don't think you have the rights to do this, so you can't do this. But those one or two people don't seem to be the majority, they don't seem to be making any inroads into actually stopping this from happening, which means at the end of the day, that it's not just Ubuntu and Ubuntu derivatives that are going to be using the Rust-based clones. It is the Debian and at least a significant portion, most likely, of Debian derivatives. And at that point, you're really talking about a pretty large portion of the Linux world using Rust-based clones of the GNU core utilities, which means more bugs, more compatibility issues, untested code with potential security issues. We already know of a whole bunch of security issues. And on top of all that, a significant change in license, moving from GPL licensed code to MIT licensed code. Now, what is the motivation for all these changes? That's a wonderful question, and we don't really have an answer to at this exact moment. But it is kind of crazy. Now, my personal hope is that it should be pretty straightforward to avoid this in downstream Debian-based systems. I personally use Devuin a lot, and Devuin is basically Debian with some noteworthy changes. The one everyone thinks about first and foremost is the removal of systemd. So you have init freedom, as it were, the freedom to choose your own init script. And so I like Devuin for that same reason. And I can't imagine Devuin enforcing Rust clones and not allowing other options. I couldn't imagine that. So it'll be fairly straightforward, even in Debian proper, most likely, to stick with the GNU core utilities and remove the Rust-based ones off of your system. Hopefully that maintains the case going forward. We'll see. It's a ridiculous change. It's a change that makes no sense from an engineering standpoint, especially when Ubuntu's over there having just a horrible time with their moving to the Rust clones. But they're going to keep going with it, and apparently Debian's maybe going to be doing that too. More Linux distributions will follow. I guarantee it, because this is a religious thing, and the people pushing this religious faith in Rust, it's a religious thing. It's weird. Have their tentacles in a large number of projects and distributions and companies. So I would be really surprised if we didn't have the same thing happening in Fedora and several other major distributions over the course of the next half year plus. It's going to happen, and it's going to suck, and it's going to cause all sorts of problems, but it's going to be what it is. I hate to be a downer on that one. I want to point out, so we had this Emacs and Vim lifetime subscriber wall thing going on, right? So if you get a lifetime subscription, Lunduke Journal, you can choose to put your name in either an Emacs wall or a Vim wall, right? And we were going to see which one would fill up first. We launched them at the exact same moment. And, well, it turns out it was the Vim wall. Emacs lost by quite a bit. In fact, Emacs had, I think, around 2/3 of the way full as of last check. The Vim wall is full. There's the Vim wall in all its wonderful glory. And I want to give a call out to someone. I can't say who they are, but someone used as their name on the Vim wall 8 megabytes and constantly swapping. Emacs. For those of you who've been around the Emacs and whatnot world for a long time, you'll remember that one. It's been a while since that was a thing, but I remember that one being trotted out. I want to say thank you to everyone who took part in that. That was a ton of fun. The Emacs wall is still open, right? So you can still go and get your name on the Emacs wall. It's about 2/3 of the way full. When that one does fully fill up, I'll add its how long it took up here at lunduke.com. And if you go to lunduke.com, you'll notice a bunch of the walls now tell you how long it took for the wall to get full. Like right here, the Vim wall took 8 days to get full. The Ubuntu 4.10 wall took 9 days to get full. BOS wall is actually not full yet. It has like enough space to stick in one more name in there. And that one's just kind of petering there. The Commodore 64 wall was 11 days. The Temple OS wall only took 7 days. People wanted to get on the Temple OS wall, man. they chomped at the bit to get on that sucker. And I also want to point out that since the Vim wall is closed and the Emacs wall is about 2/3 of the way full and the BOS wall only has one spot remaining, you can get on those. You just have to hurry. It was time to add in another wall because those walls are going to fill up like that. So there's the Desqview X wall, which is halfway full already. I love that wall. And the NeXTStep wall is the one that just opened. And specifically, I'm going to show you this here. NeXTStep 1.0 from 1989. Beautiful, beautiful wall. Oh, that's gorgeous black and white goodness. So if you'd like to get your name on the NeXTStep wall, the Desqview wall, that one less spot on the BIOS wall, or the Emacs wall, grab a lifetime subscription. They're discounted all the way through the end of July. And thank you. Massively discounted. It's worth grabbing. Thank you to everyone who has taken part in supporting the Lunduke Journal. And what's even more is not just supporting the Lunduke Journal, but putting your names on all of these walls. I mean, look at these walls. Look at all these walls. There's so many of them now. What are we up to? 18 of them? And they're just filling up as fast as I can put them out. And all of you are amazing. Just look at that Windows 3.11 wall. And what's great about that is you make a distinct message. You take a stand and say, hey, world, I support the Lunduke Journal and I'm putting my name on the wall there. And that's just beautiful, right? That's absolutely beautiful. It sends a message and I just love it. Couldn't do all of this without you. So go check it out at lunduke.com. All the different perks for being a subscriber, all the places you can grab the various shows I pump out, and how to grab a discounted subscription and get your name on the wall. And with that, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.